Right, so we're going to be discussing inhibition of return and experimental design. So what is inhibition of return? IOR. So IOR is a cognitive mechanism that slows down responses to previously attended locations or objects. It's believed to encourage exploratory behavior by reducing the likelihood of re-examining already attended locations. This phenomenon was first described by Posner and Cohen in 1984 in visual attention experiments. So key features of IOR. Spatially based mechanism, the inhibition effect is linked to specific spatial locations rather than objects. Encourages exploration. It prevents unnecessary re-examination of already attended stimuli. Time dependent. IOR occurs after a delay, typically beyond 300 milliseconds after cue presentation. Automatic process. It operates without conscious effort, affecting reaction times in attentional tasks. Now, experimental design of IOR. So, standard IOR paradigm, Posner queuing task. The classical experimental setup of IOR involves participants fixate on a central point. A cue, like a flash, appears in the periphery, attracting attention spatially. After a delay, a target appears at either the cued or uncued location. Participants respond as quickly as possible. So results were, when the target appears at the cued location after a short delay, less than 200 milliseconds, response times are faster, facilitation effect. When the target appears at the cued location after a long delay, greater than 300 milliseconds, response times are slower, IOR effect. So object-based IOR experiments. Some studies explore whether IOR is tied to objects rather than spatial locations. In these experiments, a moving cue is used. The object that contained the cue moves to a different location. If IOR persists, even when the object moves, this suggests that IOR is linked to objects, not just space. If it persists, when the object moves, right? Now, location-based IOR, Tipper et al. The second image presents an experiment by Tipper, Behort, and Driver 1990 that explores spatially directed actions. Procedure. Participants were shown a grid with symbols. The at symbol initially appears at an ignored location. Later, the target appears at the previously ignored location. Findings: slow responses were observed when the target appeared in a previously ignored location, confirming location-based IOR. Allocentric versus egocentric IOR. So the last few figures that I uploaded illustrate how distractor positioning influences IOR in different spatial reference frames. So allocentric, it means that object-centered IOR, when inhibition is linked to an object's position relative to other objects. Allocentric is object-centered, and egocentric is self-centered IOR, when inhibition is tied to its own perspective, one's own perspective. Right. The result figure highlights that allocentric IOR distractors interfere symmetrically from front, back, and same rows, and egocentric IOR interference is strong from the front row than from back row. Okay. Okay. Influence from distractor placement. The FR, BR, and SR, front row, back row, and same row figures depict how distractor locations influence reaction times. So the front row, distractors in the front slow responses significantly, so increasing the reaction time. Back row, distractors in the back still slow responses but less than in the front, right? And same row, SR, distractors in the same row create interference but less than the front row. So conclusion, IOR effects are stronger for objects closer to the observer in the front row, suggesting an egocentric influence on attention. Okay, so now an comprehensive explanation of all images. So firstly, we have negative priming overview, NP. So NP refers to the phenomenon where responses to a target are slower if the target was previously presented as a distractor in earlier trials. This is negative priming. Comparison, reaction times are compared between prime condition and control condition. Prime condition, the current target was a distractor in the previous trial, and control condition, the target was unrelated to any distractor in the previous trials. So we see that in the prime condition, we have a higher reaction time, right? Or basically the response was slower than the control condition. Cognitive mechanisms. Target selection, the brain prioritizes selecting the relevant object. Distractor suppression, irrelevant objects are inhibited to reduce interference. Trade-off, act of suppressing distractors leads to slower responses when they later become the target. So key takeaways, negative priming suggests that inhibition of distractors has a long-lasting effect, making it harder to recognize previously ignored items. Now, location-based negative priming experiment studied by Tipper, Behort, and Driver in 1990. Research focus examining whether negative priming occurs at a spatial level, meaning the inhibition applies not just to objects but also to locations. Setup: participants were instructed to focus on a target while ignoring a distractor. In subsequent trials, the ignored location contains the target. Reaction times were recorded. Findings: delayed responses, targets appearing in previously ignored locations, cause slower responses. Interpretation supports spatial inhibition. Attention inhibits both objects and spatial locations. Now, front row experimental design, FR. The experiment tests how distractors in the front row affects reaction times. So, grid-like arrangement. Targets and distractors appear in different rows. Front row distractors circled in blue were directly or diagonally in front of the target. Numerical labels represent trials where distractors were placed in FR. Hypothesis: if the inhibition of return is active, then reaction times will be slower for targets appearing in previously attended or ignored locations. Now, egocentric versus allocentric interference. So, allocentric means that distractors equally interfere regardless of their position, front, back, or same row, and egocentric is asymmetric interference, meaning front row distractors